So for today's video, I kind of went back and forth on this video as to whether I wanted to film it or not. I don't want anybody to take this video as if I am bragging about the things that I got for Christmas. I am in no way wanting to come across that I am bragging. I originally wasn't even going to do this video. I thought about creating a post on the blog to link all of the things, which I'm still going to do. That way, if you want to purchase any of these things, you can go to the blog post and be able to find everything. But I don't want it to seem like I'm bragging. I ultimately decided to do this video because I want to give you some ideas for birthdays or even for Christmas next year of things that you could give others or things that you might want to put on your wish list for yourself. So that's where the idea for this video is coming from, more of to give you ideas, gift ideas for yourself or for loved ones. So I do not in any way want to come across as if I'm bragging. So just wanted to go ahead and kind of get that out there beforehand because I do not want it to seem as if I'm trying to brag about what I've gotten. Also, it's nighttime here, so I don't have the natural daylight that I normally do. So if this lighting is a little bit wonky, hopefully it won't be too bad. That is why. So I decided, since it's a little bit later, I wanted to do kind of just a vlog style video, hence the glasses and no makeup and sweatshirt. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into what I got for Christmas. There's a couple of things that'll be linked in the blog post that I'll kind of briefly discuss, but I don't have in here with me for one reason or another, but I'll tell you what those are. So the first thing I want to show you is something that as soon as I got engaged, I knew that I wanted another pair of, and it's my monogram boots. 2 years ago, I think, 2 Christmases ago, my grandmother gave me my first pair, and it was just kind of a camel leather riding boot with my monogram on it in like the curly font. And every time I wore those, everybody would compliment me on them. I personally loved the way they looked. And so when I got engaged, I needed a new pair with my new monogram because those boots were kind of starting to get scuffed and worn out. So one, it was just time to get a new pair, and two, I wanted them to have my monogram on them. So the pair that I went with, that I picked out, were by Bear Traps, and I can't remember where these came from, if it was Kohl's or Belk, but these are what they look like. And so they're just kind of a flat heel, and then they've got like the little strap detailing here, and so then my monogram is like on the front of them, and I know that I'm doing like an absolutely horrible job showing these to y'all, so I will have them linked in the blog post. But I got them in a size, let's see, I usually wear an 8, but let's see if these have the size in them. So as far as size goes, normally I wear 7.5 to 8.5 depending on the brand. For these particular shoes, I did go ahead and get to 8.5. I definitely recommend, obviously if you're getting anything monogrammed, try the shoe on before you get it monogrammed, because once you get it monogrammed, you're not going to be able to return it. So I did try those on before my mom sent them off to be monogrammed, and we just got a girl who's local to our area, and she monogrammed them for me. That's kind of the way I've done both my pairs, so you should totally be able to do that too. But if you're from the South, I feel like those would be a super big hit with any of the ladies in your life. So that's a really great gift idea. I actually got 2 other pair of shoes, but funny story. So first I'll show you the pair of shoes. I've only got one of them right now, and it's Bob's. I love to wear Bob's, especially whenever I was in college. Bob's were like my go-to shoe. My sister had a pair that I really liked, and so what I ended up getting were these mesh. I call them mesh. They're kind of like, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but they're like see-through. They've got kind of like a mesh material. But so I got these, and then I think the soles of them are just so cute. But these are gray. And so I got these in a 7.5 wide, which I don't have a wide foot, but that's just the size that fits me the best. And normally if I go to a 7, it's too tight, and an 8 is just kind of too big. But for whatever reason, my mom also got me a pair that are like denim looking, and they were 7.5 and were too small. So with Bob's, I definitely recommend go try them on, even if you think that you know your size, because they can kind of be a little finicky depending on the particular style of the shoe. But I love Bob's, especially if you're looking for just a great kind of like comfortable everyday shoe that you can just throw on. Those are kind of like my go-to for that. And then staying on track with clothes, something that I was needing was just some sweatpants. I've got several pair of like polyester yoga pants, but I wanted just some great cotton sweatpants, just to kind of lounge around the house in, to look nice enough to go run errands if I needed to. So my parents got me 2 pair of like Hanes sweatpants, and then my fiance got me this pair of joggers from Target, and they were $20, and I got the size small, and they are the perfect length. They're like a heather gray color with joggers. They've got kind of like the cuffed ankle, and these are a little bit long for me. I stand like right at 5'2". I'm like 5'1" and like 3/4 or something, so basically 5'2", and they're a little bit long, but since they've got that cuffed ankle, you can just kind of pull them up and it makes them a little baggier in the leg, but I don't notice any problems with that. These have pockets. I actually had linked these in my gift guide for her, but I will link them again in this blog post. But these are like my absolute favorite. They are so soft, and they have like the drawstring waist. I want like 6 more pair of these, but I'm really glad that I got these because the other ones just have like the open leg, so these will be nice if I need something where I need them to kind of be a little more cinched. And I originally did not want any joggers. I told my mom, I was like, I don't want joggers, I just want like regular sweatpants. But now I am so in love with these joggers from Target. So if you're needing some good sweatpants and you like the joggers, or you want a pair of joggers, go get these. Love, love, love these. So moving into kind of my next thing that I got, this was like a set of 3 things that my sister got for me during the Vera Bradley sale that they had earlier this year. And so the first thing that she got me was the toiletry bag. And since we are going on our honeymoon, I didn't have a jewelry case or a toiletry bag, and my sister's really big into travel, especially via airplane, so she kind of knows the ins and outs. I, however, had never been on an airplane, so y'all say a prayer for me whenever it comes time for me to get on that airplane for my honeymoon, because I am just a little nervous. But she knew kind of the things that I would need, and so one of the things that she got me was this hanging toiletry bag. And so it just looks like this. It folds in half and ties. And so I'm not going to open it because it's kind of a mess right now, but it's got, let's see, 4 compartments, I think. Yes, 4 compartments. 2 of them are clear and 2 of them are this print. And this particular print is called Ellie Flowers. And I just think that it's kind of a great neutral print to me, since it's got the navy background, but then the flowers just make it so, so fun. So she got me that toiletry bag, and then she got me the matching jewelry case. And so the jewelry case also ties the way that the toiletry bag does. So as you can see, it's got the clear bag at the top, and then it has like another little clear bag right here that would be great for rings. And then it has this kind of like open pocket where you could put bigger earrings or bracelets. So I'm super excited about having this. It's not just necessarily for my honeymoon, but just for any kind of travel, just to kind of be able to store and organize my jewelry, because this is something that I had needed and just have not had. I was actually looking at one on Mark and Graham. That one is linked also in the gift guide for her. Whenever I was putting that gift guide together, I was looking at their like linen, the Mark and Graham linen jewelry case. And the one thing that I love about it is it has like a strap that you can put your rings on, and you probably could put your hoop earrings, honestly, and then it like snaps to the side, so it like holds them in place. That's the one thing that I really like about it, that this particular jewelry case doesn't have. But since this one has that smaller kind of like zippered pocket, I don't think that it would really matter. But so I was super excited to get that. And then the last thing that she got me was this carry-on bag. And so right here you've got like a zippered pocket, and then on this side you've got a pocket that would be great for like your ticket or your phone or your passport would be perfect for in there. And then inside of it I've got like a ton of stuff because I've been carrying it as my actual purse. But it zippers. It's got 6 pockets, I think. Yes, 6 pockets on the sides, and then just a big empty space in the center, which is great. So I've been carrying this as my purse, and this, like I said, all of this pattern is called the Ellie Flowers, and then this particular bag is the small trimmed Vera, and I love this bag. It's the perfect size. My computer fits in it, and I've got the 13-inch MacBook Air, I think. I'm pretty sure I've got the 13-inch, and it fits in this perfectly. So this would be a great like school bag if you're in college and you don't have to carry a whole lot of things with you during the day, or a great travel bag or a great work bag. I just love the size of this, and you can use it as your purse. So I love, love, love that bag. I kind of want to get like another one in like a different pattern, just to kind of have some options with it. Something else that I got, this is the only kind of makeup related thing that I got. I did get a gift card, but as far as like actual makeup, this is the only thing that I got. And my fiance actually got me this because he saw it on Facebook and he liked the way that it looked. And it's the Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow eyeshadows, and he got me 2 of them. So here's what the outside packaging looks like, and he got me Smoldering Satin and Molten Midnight. So I'll take those out and show them to you. And so he loves the like glitteriness of these, and I do too. I've actually had my eye on these for forever, but just never pulled the trigger on them. But so here we go. So this is the Smoldering Satin, the lighter one, and this is the Molten Midnight. And so I just love the way that they look. Being totally honest, I'll probably take Molten Midnight back. Just because I'm not a big black silver person. I prefer kind of the more everyday colors. But I'll do a little swatch for you. I looked at them in store, and they've got one that's kind of like a golden copper. So I'm kind of thinking that I might take Molten Midnight back and switch it out for that more like bronzy coppery one, just because I think that I'll get a little bit more use out of it. But I do really, really like these, and they are super duper sparkly. The one thing that I didn't really know what to expect with these. I thought that they were kind of like a gel, and they are a little bit, but I thought they were thick. These are actually very, very thin. But so here are the swatches. Hopefully you can see right there how kind of reflective they are. So the one on this side is Smoldering Satin, and this is the Molten Midnight. But they are very, very pigmented. I think that the Smoldering Satin is more pigmented than the Molten Midnight. That black's just not very dark. But they're like a very thin liquidy, but they don't like run out of the tube. So I'm super excited to do a look with those. So the next thing that I got was one that everyone in our family has been dying to get our hands on ever since we heard that it had come back out of the vault, and that is the Lion King. And so here is what it looks like. We got the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital edition. We're part of the Disney's like movie club. I'll link it below. You basically, to get started, you get like 4 movies for $1 or something. It's something crazy. And then every month they have like a featured film that you can choose to get in the mail. And so you can also buy like a bunch of your other movies, Disney movies, and companies that like Disney owns. You can get their movies. So we all got a copy of The Lion King. So I'm actually, once I get done with this video, I'm going to go put that in because I'm super excited to get to sit down and watch it. That's my sister's favorite Disney movie. So I'm super excited to get to watch that. So then the last 4 things that I got, 3 of them were books and 1 was electronic. So I will go ahead and show you the books first. The first one that I got, my grandmother got me this. So kind of some backstory. I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression at the beginning of the school year. And so I plan to kind of talk about that journey a little bit more, because even though I've been diagnosed and I am on medication, it's still something that I just kind of have to deal with every day. So I do plan on sharing more of that story, as well as kind of like tips and tricks, and kind of talking about that more in the new year. So if there's any like topics regarding anxiety and depression that you would like to know more about, definitely leave that in a comment below. And I plan on that being a vlog series, unless I just decide to throw a video in here and there. I plan on that being a vlog series, but I'll definitely share about it on here once it gets started. So one thing that I had heard about, and one thing that I wanted for this new year is I wanted to do a Bible study. I'm in the process of reading through my Bible at the moment. I'm actually in the book of Exodus, and I just have the English Standard Version study Bible. Our church, whenever you graduate from high school and college, they like give you a copy of it. So I'm in the process of reading through it, but I wanted a Bible study, and I wanted one for me, and I wanted one for my fiance. And so he ended up getting one by Gary Chapman that's about the love languages. And so it's basically kind of like an everyday Bible study, where it's kind of like dated. So we're planning on starting it on January 1st and reading through it together through this first year of marriage, and just kind of getting to know each other better, getting to understand our love languages better, getting to see what the Bible says about love languages. So I'm super excited to read that. And then I actually want to read like the 5 Love Languages book. But so for me, kind of side tangent there, for me, the Bible study that I ended up going with was Max Lucado's Anxious for Nothing, Finding Calm in a Chaotic World. And so this is what it looks like. And so he just talks about, I've only read like the first couple of pages of it, but the back of it is he's just talking about how if you could use some calm, he's got some scriptures for you, and how Philippians 4:6-7 is a great reminder for those who have anxiety. And he just says, according to this promise of Philippians 4:6-7, anxiety comes with life, but it doesn't have to dominate your life. With God as your helper in this verse at your side, you can sleep better tonight and smile more tomorrow. So like I said, I haven't really dug into this yet, so I'm not exactly sure kind of what he touches on or anything like that. But as part of my anxiety series, I want to review this book as well as maybe review some other anxiety books. And then the other 2 things are something that probably all of you had under your tree this year. They are the Emily Leah books. So the first one that I got was Grace Not Perfection, Embracing Simplicity and Celebrating Joy by Emily Leah. And that's what this one looks like. And it is just, both of these books are so beautiful. I personally love this book. I have not started reading the other one yet, but I have started reading this one. And as you can see, I'm like a quarter of the way through, probably more like a third of the way through. I love that both of them come with these like built-in bookmarks. They're very like sturdy feeling and hardcover, but this book really, I think, goes well with the Anxious for Nothing book, because she talks a lot about like give yourself grace. You don't need to be perfect. That's obviously grace, not perfection. But she that really spoke to me because I personally struggle with wanting to be perfect. She talks a lot about how if your tank's not full and you're just giving and trying to be everything for everybody, and you're not happy and you're not finding joy in your life because you are just striving for being the perfect housewife, being the perfect businesswoman, being the perfect daughter, being the perfect sister, wife, whatever, mom, you can't, eventually you're going to run out of fuel and your life's going to blow up because you realize like that you're not happy and that you deserve to be happy. And for me, I feel like that was kind of part of what I was struggling with when I was first diagnosed with anxiety, and I feel like I still kind of struggle with it, is I try to be everything to everybody and I can't be, and I have to figure out like when to pull back, when to realize like you're trying to do too much. So I really love that book. And like I was saying with the other one, I do plan on doing a review of this book as well, but it is one that I know I will read over and over again just to get, because she's such a voice of encouragement that I actually didn't realize. Like I thought, okay, I'll read this and figure out how to organize my life and get my life together now that I'm out of college. But it's really been more of a voice of encouragement for mental health, for being a better person, for figuring out how to be a better person, for, just, it's really great. And I didn't expect it to be, but if you struggle with perfection and feeling like everything has to be perfect, I definitely recommend checking out that book, because she has just given me a completely new perspective on that just in the 3 days that I've had it. So I definitely recommend checking that one out. And then this one, I also got A Simplified Life by Emily Leah. And again, really great cover, beautiful, beautiful book, very sturdy feeling. I actually haven't started reading this one yet, so I honestly have no idea what it's about. But I was going to try to read them both at the same time, but since I love Grace Not Perfection so much, and I was so excited to read both of these, I was like, no, we're going to read them one at a time and be able to enjoy them and spread it out. So I'm super glad that I started with Grace Not Perfection because, like I said, it has just really spoken to me over the last few weeks, and I do really, really like it. But I'm also super excited to read A Simplified Life because since we've kind of got the new house, I really want to just go through our stuff, cut the clutter, only have the things that we absolutely need, the things that we use, the things that we enjoy. And that's something I've been telling my fiance, like, touch that thing. If it brings you joy, we'll keep it. If it doesn't bring you joy, we're getting rid of it. Like, I just don't want to have the clutter because I know that with the wedding, we've gotten so many gifts, but I don't want to keep something if we're not going to use it. I'm really trying not to buy stuff unless I know that, like, we need it or we're going to use it or we're going to use it, like, over and over again. And I feel like that's something that, like, Emily Leigh is really trying to instill in her readers. So let me know in a comment below, did you get either one of these? Because I feel like everybody and their mother was getting these for Christmas. It was two things that I told my fiance. I was like, I really, really want these. Like, I really, 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 really want to get these. Because one thing that I was super excited about post-grad was to be able to just sit and read a book because I wanted to read a book and not because I was being told as an English major I had to read a book. So that is something that I was really wanting, was some new reading material, and I'm so glad that I've got these 3 books to kind of get me started. So then the last thing that I got for Christmas is an Apple Watch. So here is the one that I have. I have the Series 3 Rose Gold Apple Watch, and my watch face is Minnie Mouse, and I love it. Let's see if she'll do it. Whenever you tap her, she will, like, tell you the time since she's analog. So let's see.
It's 6:37. Good evening.
That is, like, my favorite part of this entire watch is when she talks to you. But I've got the small medium band on here now, and my fiance actually got this for me. He ordered this from Macy's. This was, like, the one thing that was kind of like the big thing on my list this year, apart from a couple of other things, because I'll talk to you in just a second about the things that I don't have in here with me. But this was kind of like the big technological thing that I wanted, because in my job, we will be spending a lot of time via email, via, like, in meetings, looking, having to keep up with our calendars. And so most of the girls that I work with all have an Apple Watch just to kind of sync all of their schedules together and be able to keep track of everything that's going on. So that was something that I really wanted and felt like post-grad, that was something that I would get a lot of use out of, and I love it. I love being able to take phone calls, being able to text, check my email, all of that kind of stuff, and I haven't even started to work yet, so I'm sure that I will love that even more once I start to work. But I'm super thankful for that because I know that these are not cheap, but I am loving that so far. And if you are like me and working a job where you're going to be on your email a lot and need to keep up with emails in your calendar, and you have an Apple phone, I think that the Apple Watch is a great way to go. My fiance's looked at the Samsung smartwatch. We've looked at the Fitbit, but the Samsung, if you don't have a Samsung phone, it loses a lot of its capability. So I definitely, if you have an Apple phone, I say go ahead and just get the Apple Watch, take that plunge, because I love it. Another thing that I love is that it can be like a viewfinder for me. So if I've kind of looked down in this video, that's because I'm making sure that I'm, like, in focus via my Apple Watch. So that is everything that I could bring in here with me. I did get a couple of other things, and I'll link them in the blog post. The biggest thing that we got was my parents got us our pots and pans set, and I was super excited to get that. We ended up going with the Calphalon, I don't remember which version. I'll have it linked in the blog post, but we ended up going with Calphalon. Originally, I was set on all-clad. I wanted the all-clad copper core, but when a 10-piece pots and pans set rings in at about $1,200, you kind of realize, like, maybe I should start out with something a little bit cheaper just so I go ahead and get some pots and pans to cook with. So I ended up deciding to go with Calphalon because Bed Bath & Beyond is where we're registered, as well as our myregistry.com registry, and I have loved them both. I will have a Wedding Bells blog post up after the wedding kind of talking about our registry and why we chose to go with myregistry.com. But for Bed Bath & Beyond, we had registered for the all-clad, and then we saw that Calphalon was doing, like, a big sale where for like $350, if you spent $350, you would get their non-stick Calphalon wok, and you would get their non-stick Calphalon, like, everyday frying pan with, like, a purchase of $350 or something like that. And our Calphalon pots and pan set that we ended up deciding on fit within that bracket. So for like $350 or whatever it was, we ended up getting so many. We're like totally set on pots and pans now. So I will link all of that below. We love them. They feel very sturdy. I actually haven't gotten to cook in them yet, but I'm going to go do that while I watch The Lion King too. But I really, really love those. Something else that I got was, we have a coffee bar. If you've watched the Christmas House tour, you might have seen it, but you might not have. But I'll have a full kind of like springtime house tour coming up in a couple of months, and I'll show it to you then. But we wanted to hang coffee mugs over our coffee bar, and so we went to Hobby Lobby and we ended up getting like a metal coffee, kind of like metal sign, and then we got a wooden sign that says "Awaken My Soul," and it has got 8 hooks on it that we hang coffee mugs off of. And so that was kind of like the other thing that I got for Christmas for my fiance, was that. We got from Bed Bath & Beyond, we got a tie and belt rack. We got 2 of those that we're actually getting this weekend from my other grandparents. So that is it. Like I said, the Monogram boots, all 3 of these books, the Vera Bradley stuff, and those Target joggers are all perfect gift ideas as you start thinking about birthdays and even Christmas for next year. I hope that you had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope that 2018 is everything that you hope that it will be and more. Thank you so much for starting this journey with me this year, and I can't wait to see what 2018 has in store for my little corner of the internet and for my YouTube channel. I wanted to go ahead and let y'all know I'm going to be publishing all of the videos that I filmed over the summer and in the fall over the next couple of weeks, because I'm really proud of them and I worked hard on them, but then time just got away from me because I was in school. So if you see some like randomly timed videos, it's fine. Please don't worry about it. I just wanted to publish those videos so that you can come back to them next year if you want to and watch them. So those will be coming up over the next few weeks. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'll quit rambling and let you go. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next one. Love you. Bye.